As Coronation Street fans prepare to say goodbye to one of the most iconic characters on the cobbles, Gail Platt, played by Helen Worth, a touching story from behind the scenes has emerged. Darren Little, a BAFTA-winning and Emmy Award-nominated television writer who has written for Coronation Street and EastEnders, recently shared an emotional anecdote that shines a light on the warmth and compassion of Helen Worth. In a heartfelt post on X, formerly Twitter, Darren recounted the moment he came out as gay, revealing that Helen Worth was the first person he ever told. Overcome with emotion, Darren found himself in Helen's dressing room, confessing his truth to the actress in tears. Her response was nothing short of beautiful. Helen, known for her warmth and grace, embraced him tightly and told him, "Your adventures are just beginning." It was a moment that Darren has cherished ever since. Sharing a picture of the two of them together, Darren wrote, "Want to know how wonderful Helen Worth is? She was the first person I came out to, sitting in tears in her dressing room. She held me tight and said, 'Your adventures are just beginning.' Wishing her all my love on her next adventure." It's a story that encapsulates the kindness and humanity that Helen has become known for over her many years on the show, both on screen and off. Fans have long loved her portrayal of Gail Platt, but this glimpse into the real Helen Worth behind the character only deepens the admiration that both colleagues and fans alike feel for her. The story of Darren Little's coming out couldn't have come at a more poignant time, as Helen Worth prepares to exit Coronation Street after an incredible 50-year run. Earlier this year, Helen confirmed that she would be filming her final scenes as Gail Platt, with her departure set to air later in the year. In a heartfelt statement, Helen reflected on her time on the show and the decision to step away. "This year felt like the perfect time to leave the show after celebrating 50 years in the most wonderful job on the most wonderful street in the world," she said. "I made the decision at the start of the year and spoke to the producers who were very kind and understanding." Helen expressed her deep gratitude for the opportunities she's had, thanking her colleagues and reflecting on the incredible scripts and storylines she's been a part of. "The past 50 years have flown by," she said, "and I don't think the fact that I am leaving has quite sunk in yet. It's hard to imagine Coronation Street without Gail Platt." Over the years, Gail has become synonymous with the show, her character taking center stage in some of the soap's most iconic moments. Her ill-fated marriage to serial killer Richard Hillman, in particular, remains one of the most memorable storylines in British soap history. AT's executive producer for continuing drama, Ian McLeod, summed up what Gail and Helen Worth mean to Coronation Street, saying, "The words legend and icon get used a lot these days, but they genuinely do apply to Gail and to Helen Worth. In Helen's hands, Gail has been a huge part of Coronation Street for 5 decades and at the center of some of the most memorable storylines." MacLeod also touched on Gail's knack for picking the wrong husbands, a running theme in her life on the cobbles. From her doomed marriage to Martin Platt to the terror of Richard Hillman's murderous spree, Gail's journey has been filled with heartache and drama, but also moments of joy and laughter, particularly in her complicated but loving relationships with her children and her mom, Audrey. MacLeod continued, "Her ill-fated marriage to Richard Hillman was one of the most groundbreaking stories in soap history and cemented Gail's already established status as one of the Corrie greats. As Gail's departure storyline unfolds, Coronation Street fans have been treated to a blast from the past with the return of Jess Chadwick, played by John Thompson. It was revealed that Gail and Jesse had struck up a holiday romance in Thailand back in 2021, and the pair have stayed in contact ever since. Now they are determined to be a proper couple, but in true Coronation Street fashion, it's unlikely to be smooth sailing. As Gail embarks on this new chapter, the question remains, will she finally find happiness with Jesse, or is there more heartache ahead? Fans are eager to see how her story concludes, but one thing is for certain, Gail's legacy on Coronation Street will live on for decades to come. Helen Worth's decision to leave Coronation Street marks the end of an era, but her incredible contributions to the show will never be forgotten. As she prepares to take on her next adventure, just as she once encouraged Darren Little to do. Fans and colleagues alike are celebrating her remarkable career and the indelible mark she's left on the world of British soap operas. As the matriarch of the Platt family, Gail's trials and triumphs have captivated viewers for half a century.